Um, Gerald McCoy, NFL Network analyst, former defensive tackle, and six-time Pro Bowler, joining us on the program. Good to see you again. Give me the science behind blocking field goals, punts, extra points, because we're at a historical rate so far.
Yeah, this is insane. First off, that I think what we're seeing right now is we're seeing the importance of all three phases of the game. We preach it inside the building: offense, defense, special teams, and punt team flipping the field, punt block. Having an opportunity to block the punt. We've seen it, unfortunately, with my Bucks yesterday. Kind of was a big switch and change in the game with us versus the Eagles. And then you got field goal protection. Then you got field goal block. And what a lot of people don't know is we actually draw up plays for these things. So it's whether it's right block, it's left block, it's middle block. There's different things. So when you go through the motions in practice, this is why the coaches, like we so focused on, oh well, we got these plays on offense, we got these plays on defense. When we do special teams, the O line, D line is just like, okay, well, we just go whatever. Well, when you take it serious, you see what can happen. And when you are kind of BSing through it, these are the things that can happen. If you the end blocker on the end of field goal pro and you don't get your hand all the way out, you seen yesterday they can knock your hand down and turn that corner on you. These are elite athletes. These are best athletes in the world. So if you're not taking this part serious, then this is what can happen. But you see how much the third phase the football could change the game, man. This is insane what we're seeing right now.
And, it's maybe I'm trying to think of an analogy in another sport where this happens and then it changes the momentum, whether it's a home run or a dunk
hmm
or something where it just feels like, oh my God, they blocked the kick. Or so I don't know
Well,
if
well, LeBron's block in the finals versus Golden State. They if Andre Iguodala gets that layup and J.R. Smith doesn't slow him down, LeBron doesn't come do the chase down, then we never see the Kyrie shot. That game probably goes away. If um if Mono Ginobili hits those free throws versus Miami, then we never see LeBron miss a three, Chris Bosh tip it back to Ray Allen, who hits the historic three. I think those are different examples of if this portion of the game, which is free throws or chase down block, field goals and punts are really like because you sit and steal, the game stops. So that's similar to shooting free throws. You're sitting here, these free throws are crucial. So I need to make these free throws. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or get a a timely block like what LeBron did. So I would correlate it to situations like that.
Should we settle for ties, have ties in the NFL during the
No,
regular season?
no,
All
no,
right.
I don't like ties.
What
I don't
would you
like ties at all.
what would you do?
They need to try and well, shoot, college football is taking some of the NFL mode. We might as well do some of the stuff that they doing. Just go and put it on 25 and let's see what happens. But we got to find a way to not end these games in ties, man, because ties just that don't work out.
I think everybody was all in on the Packers after what they did to the Lions, and then all of a sudden you lose to the Browns, and then you tie with.
No, I wouldn't say everybody.
Oh,
I was not.
okay.
Well, I was not because it was 2 weeks, and I kept saying it's 2 weeks. And here's why I kept saying you can't go all in, is because after 2 weeks, think about what took place. Okay, they had the Micah comes in. It's like, oh man. First off, this is already a playoff team. This is already a top 10 defense. They were 22nd in pressure rate. So you go out, you address a need, you bring in the guy who's led the league in pressure since he stepped foot in the NFL. Of course, your pass rush is going to be better. But what happened? They won two games that they were favored to win at home. Everybody's like, oh, look at what they're doing. Pay attention to what happened. They had a Sunday game, they played a Thursday game at home. They didn't have to travel. All they had to do was just go and roll into it with the regular operation. We hadn't seen them hit the road. We hadn't seen them travel. We hadn't seen anything. We hadn't seen them tested. So when people was like, "Oh, the Packers are the best team right now," the Packers are. I'm like, how are they the best team? We haven't seen them do anything. How are they jumping the Eagles? How are they jumping Buffalo? How are they jumping all these people? And that's why I said we can't just put them above Philly when we've seen Philly be tested. We haven't seen Green Bay be tested for us to be saying they're the best. What happened as soon as they hit the road? They lost to Cleveland. Now we just seen them hit the road. I thought that they were going to blow the Cowboys out. I think most of America thought that this was going to be a blowout game, but we seen what happened. So this is why I always say you can't crown people super early. You got to let the season play out. I have a philosophy. You do not know who's who until about week 9 of the season. Then you start seeing like some consistency. Okay, this is what they can do. This is what they can't do. Okay, we've seen that this is kind of like, because I remember one time we seen the Pittsburgh Steelers go 11-0, but everybody was like, I don't know. That's a kind of like that's a fluff 11-0. That's not a real 11-0 team. So, you got to let the season play out. But I haven't been sold on Green Bay after 2 weeks like most people were.
What concerns you the most about the Ravens?
Defense. I know they've had injuries, um, but even when they were healthy, you got to keep people out the end zone, man. And um, it doesn't matter how many, because before yesterday they were averaging 37 points a game. 37 points. This is the National Football League. If your offense is getting 37 points a game, you shouldn't be losing. That's just reality. But also, um, offensively, when you pack the middle of the field, which is what Kansas City did, you pack the middle of the field, you take away all those crossing routes in the middle of the field for Lamar. He struggles to push the ball outside the numbers and make throws where he has to make throws outside the numbers. And that's all Kansas City did yesterday. They made him make throws outside the numbers, and then uh, you get Xavier Worthy back and you score points. You can't always depend on your offense to score points like this every day. Look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did. They are finding different ways to win. They won yesterday. The offense wasn't great, but what they do, they got a score on special teams, and the defense was lights out. Your offense is not always going to give you 37 points. So the other two phases of the game have to show up. And defense is it's bad, man. It looks 30. They were giving up 30 points a game, and yesterday was just even worse. So it just doesn't look good.
Gerald McCoy, NFL Network analyst. You can catch NFL Network bringing you NFL Game Day kickoff at 7 a.m. Eastern, the Vikings and the Browns in London on NFL Network. Well, okay, given that the Ravens are banged up, not a good defensive team, how do we then look at the Chiefs?
Mm-hmm.
Because are the Chiefs that good?
Yes, they are.
But the Ravens were that bad, though, Gerald.
Yeah, but also, okay, the Chiefs over the past 3 years have been, a lot of people say, carried by the defense. But as long as 15 is taking the snaps, they're good. As long as Andy Reid's calling the plays, they're good. We have to look at all the revolving door of the offensive line. Now they got the offensive line in place. And the first 3 weeks, Patrick Mahomes, as great as he is, he's not Lamar Jackson. He can't be leading your team in rushing. He can't do that. What were they able to do yesterday? They're able to run the ball. One player changed everything. They put Xavier Worthy back in the lineup, and it opened up the entire offense. They were able to do so many different things. When you go back and watch them with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles were being overly aggressive with the Kansas City Chiefs wide receivers because they wasn't afraid of anybody getting open. They wasn't afraid of getting beat deep downfield. So they were being overly aggressive. Well, you bring Xavier Worthy back and look how everything opens up. Okay, I understand it was the Baltimore Ravens defense, but it's not just about how you're seeing what you're seeing, is how it's being done. Patrick Mahomes didn't look under duress. He didn't look like he was pressing. Get the ball out, boom. Get the ball out here. Xavier Worthy here. Get open. beat over the top. So now what they're going to do is they're going to get healthy, and then they're going to get Rasheed Rice back. And then this is where we start to see, okay, the defense is in place. That's one thing we haven't had to worry about with Kansas City. I would be worried about Kansas City if the defense was bad. The defense hasn't been bad. The defense has been in place. They just haven't been able to put up points like they normally do. Well, now they're going to start scoring points. And once they get their whole group back, then we're gonna start seeing the Kansas City that scared everybody again. So I think Kansas City is legit. That's why I was never worried about them losing those couple of games because they lost to the Chargers, who hit the ground running. Justin Herbert is coming into his own. I know he struggled yesterday, but I still believe he's gonna have a great season. They lost to the champs, okay? Then they won against New York. Obviously, it was New York, but we see they're not as bad as you think. We seen it yesterday. It was just who they had at quarterback. But then they won yesterday at home. Now they're gonna get healthy. I believe that Kansas City is they gonna get back to being that scary team.
Is a rookie's cadence at the line of scrimmage, quarterback, different? Like, do they sound like rookies or sound young when they're calling out plays at the line of scrimmage?
I wouldn't say that they sound young more than it's not as complex. It's like there's no switch up. So Drew Brees used to yellow 80, yellow 80, yellow 80. He says, all right, he would switch it up. And then he would have different colors. And then he would kill, 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 kill. He's doing a lot at the line. So you never know what's going to happen. Cam Newton, ready, white 80, white up. He never would snap right on that. He would switch it up. Matt Ryan would switch his up. When you go against these, that's why Peyton, they Omaha. Everybody thought the ball was coming. He said Omaha. No, it wasn't. So when you have a rookie, you know after a few snaps, after he say this, after he say this, the ball's coming. Because he has so much other things to worry about. He can't manipulate the snap count yet. Aaron Rodgers had a phenomenal snap count. They can manipulate the snap count because they've done so much other things for so long. The snap count is just something that they add to their repertoire and their tool bag. Rookies, you just, especially if you at home, rookies are the easiest people to jump the snap count. They're not changing nothing because they don't. It's too much going on up here. They trying to see, especially if your coverage is doing all this. And then if I know when I played, if I'm playing a rookie, their coach has told him that guy right there, make sure you keep your eyes on him. So now I know he's not gonna switch his snap count because he's seeing all this, but he knows I'm sitting right here too. If Miles Garrett is over there, no rookie is gonna look and see Miles Garrett and be thinking about let me switch the snap count. They're gonna be thinking, all right, Miles is right here. Let me. But that's what rookies are. So so that's the difference. It's not that they sound like rookies. It's they're not going to manipulate the snap count like the vets will.
How did Aaron Rodgers sound?
Uh,
What was his
A-
What was his cadence?
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was green 18. Green 18. So when his was so aggressive that you lose sight of all the other things that's taking place. And that's why he caught so many people with their free play. He was phenomenal. What Aaron Rodgers is phenomenal at is catching people on the field with 12 men. He's great at catching people subbing. So that's what you got to be careful with him is your subs. If you're going to sub, as soon as the play is over, you got to make sure you know who's coming in and who's coming out. You cannot BS getting off the field. And then you just got to be patient, especially when they're at home. When they're at home is when he gives everybody, if you go back and look, when he was in Green Bay, when they were at home is when he got most of those free plays because his snap count is so aggressive and it can catch you off guard. Russell Wilson actually has a very good hard count as well.
What's it sound like?
It's just loud and aggressive. I'm like, God dang, calm down, dog. It's just real aggressive. Yeah. Hey man, I don't know what you going through on Sunday, but hey, that's why we got chapel the night before, dog. Come down.
Thanks for sharing. Great to talk to you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
That's Gerald McCoy, NFL Network analyst and former defensive tackle, six-time Pro Bowler. The NFL Network will bring you Vikings-Browns in London coming up next weekend. Their coverage starts at 7 a.m. Eastern. We'll take a break. We will give you our best and worst of the weekend right after this.